to another live. Remember, when you're joining me, jump in, let me know where you are, what part of the world you are in. And if you're celebrating the holidays, it's almost a week to the holidays. It's my absolute favorite time of year, and it's wonderful to be able to be here and share this with you. Again, like I just said, if you're joining me now, jump in, let me know where you are, what your holiday plans are. And feel free to ask me whatever questions you want to ask here. I'll try to get to them. I've got a number of questions to get to today. However, I won't be able to get to all of them. But, not a word I like using, I am going to answer them on the podcast and the website. Again, the website's down for a little bit. We are trying to make it a little easier for you to navigate. So that should be up hopefully by this week. Don't hold me to it. Hello, California. Hello, Philippines. California, what's the weather like over there? Finally, after a few days of rain, we've got a beautiful day in New York City. Until I came to this country, I didn't understand what people meant when they said, oh, it's so beautiful. It's such a beautiful day in New York. Now that I'm no longer in South America and I live in the US, every time I step out, it's like, oh, what kind of a day are we dealing with? So it's great to have a beautiful day in winter. Again, let me know where you're coming in from. Hi, Mexico. Must be beautiful there. London, haven't been as yet, but I will next year. Going to Chile, I will miss you, but I'll be talking to you tomorrow. Oslo, oh my gosh, this is wonderful. 70 degrees, beautiful. Santa Rosa, California, hello. Holland, I am seeing you soon. Great, oh my goodness, it's so beautiful to see. I mean, you think that the world is a big place and you think that we are so different, but we're really not, and it's such a small space that we're in. So thank you for sharing it with me. Denmark, I love Denmark. It's one of my favorite, it was one of my favorite visits. So thank you, Denmark. All right, let's get to the questions. I am an anxious attached person. How do I break my craving for attention from my avoidant attached partner? The easiest answer here, the simplest one that jumps to mind, is find a life that serves others. Do something that brings someone else joy, not your avoidant attached partner, that brings joy to the rest of the world. Because what you're really looking for is the validation for who you are. You want to be seen for who you truly are. And when you get that validation from friends and family, you don't quite believe it. You think that they're just being nice to make you feel better. And when you get it temporarily, just little nuggets of it from a partner, you feel great, but then you slip into that doubt. Do they really mean it? Do they want something from me? Are they just being nice? Are they planning on breaking up with me? Is that why they're being nice? You know, we go through all of these fears, these doubts. And that is because we don't quite trust ourselves just yet. We don't know our value just yet. We don't know exactly what we bring to a family member's life or a friend's life. What is it we add, the joy we bring to them, the peace we bring, the inspiration, the support. We don't know that just yet. So we're looking for them to reassure us constantly that we're valuable. We want to be seen for who we are. Now, when they do reassure us, or they try to reassure us, we doubt them. Again, that's because we don't know our worth and our value. And we're constantly waiting for them to reassure us more and more, and that becomes exhausting for them because they sense it as well. Now, there are times when you're going to have a conversation and they're not going to see it from your perspective. So now you're feeling as though you've got to prove to them your worth and your value. You're trying to show them a part of your heart, a part of your soul that they can't see. And now you're left feeling misunderstood, waiting for that validation all over again. It's a cycle. But when you tap into something you're passionate about, whether, let's use art for an example. Let's say you're a painter, or let's say you're a beautiful writer, and you find so much joy and peace in your writing. Share that with people who's got nothing to benefit, nothing to gain from you sharing your soul, your heart to them. And their reaction when they show you that they're really impressed with your work, that your work, your writing brings them joy, that they just love being engrossed in your craft, your writing, which is attached to who you are. And you will know that they're not looking to gain anything. They're not trying to manipulate you. They're going to tell you their truth. That's when you get a true validation, because that person sees you on a much deeper level. That's what you're searching for. Now, when you can get that from the rest of the world, from people who are not going to benefit, they're not looking for anything in exchange from you, then you start to see a little bit of your value. You start to feel a little more confident. And then you no longer depend on your partner for validation for who you are. That's the easiest, that's the first step, I would say. It's to work on who you are. Now, the other thing you want to do, and this is a little harder to do, is to learn how to step back, talk to your fears when you are afraid that you're not hearing from them, they're not responding to your text, so perhaps they're thinking of leaving the relationship, they don't like you anymore, they're probably seeing someone else. That's a fear, and that fear, be gentle with yourself, that's a fear that comes from years and years of feeling rejected and feeling abandoned and living with the fear that everyone will leave you. What you want to do here, and I hope you've got notebooks and pens, and if you don't, go back to the video after it's posted. Get a notebook, get a pen, take notes, remind yourself constantly of this. Change the wiring of your brain, all right? What you want to remember when you're having fears is that the first thought is usually an inner knowing thought or belief. So your first thought is going to be, no, this person loves me, they keep showing up for me. The second thought generally would be something like, but why would they love me? Why would they show up for me? They're not usually consistent. They don't tell me they love me. Let that be your old brain. The first one is now the new brain. It's the rewiring of what's going to be your new brain. Try to listen to that one a little more. The second thought, it's your old brain. That's from past fears. It's your brain's way, your unconscious way of reminding you to stay safe. That sometimes it's got no business in your life right now. Okay, so that's ways you could deal with the craving of attention from your partner. Also, give yourself the attention. Every time you find that your mind goes to someone else, bring it back to you. Oh, what are they doing? What are they thinking and feeling? What would they want? Ask yourself those questions. Start to learn to bring the energy back to you. And the more you focus on yourself, and I don't make promises easily, but this has been tested over and over and over in my practice and in my personal life. When you bring the attention to you, the energy to you, others want to spend time with you. I'm not going to get into the details of how that happens. Just practice it so your body starts to see and feel the change, and it starts to want to do the thing even more. Get very, very involved in your life. Fall in love with yourself. Focus on falling in love with yourself. Now, on that note, there's something I was thinking about recently. I was thinking, I've always I've been of the belief, and we hear it often, people say, you can't love another person until you love yourself. I've changed that belief a little bit. I believe that We can only love someone in an emotionally mature and healthy way until we truly love ourselves. That's when we can appreciate that we need space and time, and we want our boundaries to be respected, and so we can appreciate that that's exactly what the other person is going to want. But when we are still in that insecure internal environment, the problem is, in many cases, many times, we love another person way more than we love ourselves. So it's not that we can't love another person, it's how we're loving them. From which parts of us? Is it from an unhealed place? If it's an unhealed place, yes, we can love a person way more than we love ourselves. And that means we have way too much empathy for them, our focus is on them, and not enough boundaries, which equals love for ourselves, right? So think about that a little bit. I spent about 2 weeks thinking, marinating in that. That's a part of our healing, the thinking, the process, the marinating on new information that helps us to evolve and accept that we will change from time to time. So think about that. Okay, next question. What can an anxious and an avoidant couple do to fix their relationships? Quick fix, but not easy. Start to mirror each other. The anxious attached can start to mirror the behavior of an avoidant attached without losing the wonderful sides of them. What I mean by that is you recognize that your avoidant attached partner likes a lot of space. They want to do things independently. They like, their autonomy. They don't overshare. They learned how to self-soothe. That's something they do. You can start doing those things. You can start to enjoy your alone time, not be dependent on your partner all the time. Learn to be a little more independent. If you think that an avoidant attached partner is selfish, fine, let's take that and use it to our benefits, if that's what we believe. I'm not going to say change your thinking in this life. I'm going to say, let's take that on. Be a little selfish. Put some focus on yourself. Enjoy being independent, like I said. Don't overshare. Keep a little bit of mystery. When there's a little bit of mystery, people want to find out more about you. And you start to see that people are actually interested in you. But if you're oversharing, they've got nothing to ask because it's already all there. So keep a little bit of mystery. And I don't mean that you've got to go do something wrong and hide it. That is not mystery. It means if someone asks you, how are you? Just go with, I'm good. How are you? Let them ask, what have you been up to? Don't respond with, oh, I'm good. How have you been? I haven't heard from you in a long time. I've been to the movies. I saw this movie. I did this thing. I did shopping yesterday. Just hold back a little bit. That's for the anxious attached. Now, if you've got an avoidant attachment style, hold on to your independence and your autonomy and your fear of being vulnerable, but push through just a little bit. Mirror your anxious attached partner. Show up just a little bit. Share just a little bit about yourself. Open the door just a little bit. Instead of wanting to spend 5 out of 7 days by yourself or with your friends, try to spend 3 or 4 days by yourself, alone with your friends, or whatever it is you want to do. Start to open the door just a little bit. And for the anxious attached, close it just a little bit. And I'm not saying change who you are. You can still be compassionate, kind, wonderful. I'm talking to my anxious attached friends here, because generally what I hear from a lot of people who sign on to my program is that they're afraid of losing who they are. Another thing I hear from the anxious attached and not the avoidant attached is, oh, but this is who I am. I don't want to lose who I am. Well, who you have been recently, who you've become is not really a true version of who you are. You've learned to be this way so that you can get something in return. You can get the love and affection that you're longing for. It isn't who you really are. Because if you were exactly this person, then you wouldn't feel upset if you felt like you were being taken for granted. Who you truly are would be someone who could say, no, you don't get to take me for granted. No, I don't want to sacrifice myself to be with you. And then we get into this nasty quarrel. I would rather stay at home and watch TV, be by myself. But you're unable to say that, which means you're not being truthful. And there are many studies that's being done that shows the most powerful energy is authenticity. It is not love. We used to think it's love. When you are authentic, when you could own the sides of you that society may not agree with, you are going to attract people, because what is it we want more than anything in this world? We want to know that the person we're talking to is real. Someone could come to you and say, hey, I really love you. I like being with you. I enjoy my time with you, but I have been hurt so many times and I am so afraid to get hurt again. So I put up walls and I'm going to push you away from time to time. And I know it's going to hurt and it makes me feel guilty and it makes me sad to do it. I'm sharing this is who I am and this is what I struggle with. You will love that person. You will choose to be with that person instead of the person who says, I'm absolutely perfect. I will never hurt your feelings. I am always going to be there for you. You will not trust it because you will feel it. So in order for an avoidant and an anxious attached person to fix their relationship right away is start to mirror each other without losing who you are, right? And be as authentic as you possibly can, but do it with kindness. Do it with compassion. If you have to speak your truth, speak with kindness and compassion. Okay? Empathy and boundaries. We need both of them. Another question here is, what can I do after a breakup with an avoidant attached partner? Quick fix, bring all the energy to you. Bring all of the energy. I mean the mental energy, the physical energy, the emotional energy. If you've got to walk around all day and say, life's about me, it's about me, it's about me, it's about me, over and over and over, you do that, but you bring the energy all to you. And after about a week of doing that, you start, this is an exercise that I give to my clients. Write a list of all the things you love about yourself. I'm compassionate, I'm kind, I'm thoughtful, I'm smart, I'm witty, I'm funny. Go through the list, think about it. And then you write, what do I bring to the relationship? That would look like something like, I am supportive. I try to inspire my partner. I take him into consideration. As a woman, I'm talking. I take him into consideration, and I know sometimes he's tired, and I prepare a meal for him. What are the things you bring to the relationship? I am supportive of his relationships with his friends. I am considerate of his need for time. Whatever it is, what do you bring to the relationship? And then you look at your ex, and you ask the very questions. Who is this person? Who do I see this person as? What do I like about them? Another list, what do I not like about them? And then the other list, what do they bring to the relationship? And it's helped all of my clients to see who the prize is. And when you know what you bring into a relationship, you start to see that it might just be their loss. Now, you also want to do another exercise for your growth, for your future. How do you think you could have shown up in your past relationship that might have made the relationship a little healthier and might have made you feel more empowered in the relationship? What is it you wish you could have changed? And start to work on those things so you can become the version that you envision for yourself. You can grow, you can evolve. Use your past relationships to be a better person for you, for you first, and the rest of the world will just benefit from it. Okay? Ajay says, hey, thank you so much. I got to know about myself, but I love her and I love her so much. There is no but about it. You know, like earlier when we started, I said, I used the word but, and I'm like, I don't like the word but. You could have an and. I got to know about myself and I love her very much. You can let go of a person and still love them. You can struggle in a relationship and still love a person. Someone reached out to me recently and asked, how can this person say they love me, but they don't want to talk to me? They want to block me and they want nothing to do with me. They ignore me. Well, I know it's sad and this is hurtful to hear. Sometimes a person can love us but not like us. Sometimes they could love us but not want to be with us. Sometimes they can love us and want to be a friend with us but not be an intimate partner. Sometimes they can love us but not want to marry us. Love and liking someone or wanting something else with them, moving the relationship in a different direction may not work for them. It doesn't mean something's wrong with you. It's their preference. And as hurtful as it may be for us, we have to accept it. We have to accept it. And that only comes when you know that someone else's decision for their life, their choice, has nothing to do with you. The end of the day, even if we're pouring our hearts and soul and efforts into our relationship, yes, we want to say, oh, it's because I love that person. No, we're not. If we really truly love someone we know they want out, we're going to be able to back away from them. But we're hoping that by giving them something, they're going to appreciate us in return. Another question, I probably should answer it here, that I got earlier this week from someone is, you know, what do I do? It's the holiday season and you want to give a present to someone, but you recognize that they have not been very reciprocal in your relationship. They don't really message you. They don't thank you. You've done things in the past and they either delayed a thank you or didn't say anything about it. And now you're wondering, is this a covert contract? And what is a covert contract? A covert contract is really when you do something for someone and you're expecting something in return. You're expecting some sort of a gratitude, but they don't do that. And now you're hurt and you're disappointed. And what we have to remember in all of this is that that person most likely did not ask you for the thing. And you're assuming that they know that you're hoping they're going to be grateful. So if you're going to do something for someone, remember, most likely they're not asking for it. So they don't owe you a thank you. Would it be nice? Yes. Is it a courteous thing? Yes. You know, and someone used the example of, oh, but you know, in our society, we should be courteous. Yes, and should and could usually leads to our disappointment when we're thinking the person should do something and we don't get it, we get disappointed. We want to start focusing on the reality. So an example the person used was, you know, you go to a store and you purchase something and the person gives you the thing and you say thank you out of courtesy. Of course, but if you don't say thank you to that person and they get hurt, then that's not your responsibility. Because what you're doing is you're giving money in exchange for a product. There is a quick exchange. Anything else, there is no obligation to that person or to you. Okay? Now, in a store setting, there is an expectation. We don't go to a store and pick up something and walk out with it. Right? There is an expectation. There isn't an assumption. When it comes to relationships and you give someone a present, especially if you've not been in a full-blown relationship, you're not in a committed relationship, you're not friends, you just randomly give them a gift, hoping that they're going to see this as a lovely thing and show appreciation and probably come closer to you, and you don't get it, you're setting yourself up. They did not ask for it. They did not give you a present first, and now you give it to them, and there's an exchange, and you both say thank you. I hope that helps. So as it comes into the holidays, keep that in mind, right? If you're going to do something nice for someone, just do it because it's who you are and it's what you want to do for their happiness, not because you're going to gain from it. You can very well do it for your gain, but it's your responsibility to take care of your emotions should you get disappointed. It's not on them, right? Another thing is, should you give a gift to an ex since it's the holidays, and how much can you give? If someone asks to be out of your life, if they've broken up with you, they should not get the benefits of you. They want, especially if you're hoping to get back together with them, they need to see what life without you looks like. It's their choice. They've chosen to leave. They don't get the benefits of the relationship, but not put in the work and the effort to maintain a relationship. All right, that's something you want to take into consideration. Now, if you're in a relationship, especially with someone who's got an avoidant attachment style, don't give too much. It can be overwhelming. If this is someone who's only given you a card or two, or a little trinket, or whatever it is, something small, try to match that. Give caring, considerate gifts. If you've gotten something for yourself and you think they're going to like it, give it to them and say, hey, I got myself something like, I got myself this. I thought you might like it too. So they don't feel overwhelmed. They don't feel like, oh my gosh, this person went out, thought about this, went out of their way to get it for me. I don't have the capacity to do this, and if I don't do it, they're probably going to leave me. Because what happens in those cases, they feel overwhelmed because they feel inadequate. And in a lot of cases, they start to move out of the relationship because they fear you may do it. All right, so match their energy, match their gifts. Now, if you've got an avoidant attachment style, I know it's kind of hard to get the right gift, to be vulnerable and show the other person how you feel. Push through that fear. One way an anxious attached person will feel loved is when they know you've put some thought into a present that they might like. So if it's a box of chocolates, give them a box of chocolates. If it's a handwritten card, try your best to do it. All right. Even if you've got to type it up, you don't have to do a handwritten something. Handwritten mail goes a long, long way, but try to show your appreciation by getting them something they would like. I know it's very difficult for you to do, to set aside yourself, set aside your schedule, embrace the vulnerability and all of those good stuff. But just make an effort and you're probably going to love the results. Let me know if these answers are helping you, how they've shifted your perspective. What did you think before, and how are you thinking differently after me answering these questions for you? All right, a question from one of you. 2 years, long-distance relationship, and no contact for more than a month now. Should I greet, does that mean that you guys broke up? Should I greet my avoidant boyfriend a Merry Christmas? Of course. You still want to be kind and caring and compassionate, unless there's like a breakup and this person asked for space. You reach out and say something like, hey, thinking about you and wishing you a Merry Christmas. You still get to be kind and considerate, depending on if this person broke up with you and asked for space. If they broke up and say, I need some space, I need some time apart, and they're not on friendly terms with you, they're not reaching out, then respect their space and let them be. If they reach out and say Merry Christmas, then you can respond. If someone does something, I got this question as well earlier in the week. Someone did something nice, an avoidant attached person gave an anxious attached person a present the anxious attached person wanted to know, what should you say? And my response was, say thank you. Now the anxious attached person sent a smiley face and said, I know. However, I want to do something more. It is the more that gets us in trouble, because what we're doing now is we're unable to see that we deserve that little nice present that came our way, and just say, oh, you recognize that I deserve this, so thank you. But what we do is we jump in and we try, oh, I really appreciate this. Here, I got you something in return. I want to take you out for dinner because you got me this little thing. And this becomes overwhelming, because what's going on is I'm giving this person another present. So now they're feeling pressured. Oh my goodness, now I have to keep doing this thing. What we can just say is, to myself first, oh, this person recognized that I'm valuable in their life and they want to show some appreciation, so thank you. And let it be. Walk away from it. Does that help? All right, let me see. Running through your list. I'm running through your list. I'm like Santa over here. Okay. You just responded. So there wasn't a breakup. The person, your partner, just shut down after you opened up about something he said. So your partner shut down because you opened up about something he said that he didn't do. So pretty much he said he was going to do something, he didn't do it, and you talked about it. So now he's feeling like no matter what he does, it's good enough. He's feeling criticized, he's feeling judged, he's feeling inadequate. I would say don't wait for a Merry Christmas. You don't have to wait that long. It's been about a month. You could send a message now just to say, hi, I'm thinking about you and I hope you're well. Now, when he responds, try your best not to jump in and respond right away. Don't leave what you're doing to respond to him. Give yourself some time and mirror whatever he says in his response. If he says, thank you very much, let it be, get about your life, and then wait for him to reach out to you. Don't reach out again. Give him space to miss you and process. But right now, perhaps, I mean, I don't know the full story here. Perhaps he's afraid that if he reaches out, he's going to be attacked again. And just reaching out to say, hey, I hope I'm thinking about you. I hope you're well. That lets him know that you're not upset with him, and just see where that goes. I can't, and generally in my programs, I do this, like I strategize as I would in a chess game. I can't do that because I don't have a whole lot of information, but sending that message should not hurt your relationship. 6 months, no contact. What should I do, please? Get about your life, work on your healing, allow this person the opportunity to process how they're feeling, decide for themselves what's best for them, and they'll allow them to come to you. I would say work on yourself so much so that you know you don't need to chase anyone. So after 6 months, if you reach out to them, what happens is they start to believe that they can leave whenever they want and come back to you. And that's not a cycle you want to get into. I've been in that cycle for decades, and it is no fun. Being in the skin of an anxious attached person is no fun. Also, being in the skin of an avoidant attached person is no fun. But the cycle's got to stop. You have to stop it at the very beginning. If not, you fall into that pattern where one person believes they can always walk out and walk back in, and you'll be waiting for them. And the other person believes they must chase to pull their partner back. What I have learned in life when it comes to absolutely everything, when it comes to my personal relationships, my professional relationship, even the relationship with myself, just stay still. Just stand and wait. Let time pass and things will change. Within you, perspective will change. Within your relationships, people will come towards you. All right, so learn to stay still. All right. One of your questions. She wanted a breakup. I took a flight for 5,000 miles to see her and to fix things, but she insisted on a breakup. If I want to break up, or I'm not sure I want to break up, I'm upset, I'm like, I don't want this anymore, and I'm in that space where it's like I'm sick and tired of this, and I just need some space and time. And the person that's making me feel uncomfortable gets on a flight and I don't care where they're coming from. I'm still in that mental space of not wanting the pressure of the relationship. It's not that I don't want to be with the person, it's the pressure of the relationship. Now, if someone does that for me, I'm now going to be sitting thinking, this person really loves me. I don't have to try really hard. I really don't have to. This person can get up and take a 5,000-mile flight to come fix this. I could give myself some time. And what happens is it allows me to relax knowing that that person's out there and that person's going to come to me whenever I want them to. And I could just get about my life. So what you want to do when someone says they want to break up with you, get to a point where you know it's not about you. You know they're going through their own thing. And you say, okay, sure. You're going to miss them, of course. But allow them, back away right away, allow them space to process their emotions. And you deserve someone who's going to reach out to you after and say, I made a mistake. I want to get back with you. How can we work this through? You don't have to chase. Trust me, you don't have to chase. You don't have to chase. I know because I've lived it. I did the chasing. Halfway around the world too. I did the chasing. I hopped on a flight as well. And it did not work. The only thing that works is staying still, working on myself, constantly bringing the energy and focus to myself, doing the things that I love. And that is the only thing that I think just makes people happy and comfortable around me, because there is no pressure. I'm not looking for anyone, my friends, my partner, my kids. I'm not looking for anybody to validate me, so they don't feel the pressure. It's just a whole lot of fun. Every time I get together with my kids, my favorite little humans, and you don't get that a lot with parents and kids where, you say, oh, these are my favorite humans. I just want to sit and talk to them. Usually those relationships can be tense. But that's because we have expectations of others. I don't have expectations of my children. They know that I have empathy. They know that I have boundaries, and we respect each other. It's the same with all the relationships, but none of this would have happened if I didn't work on myself. We have to stop waiting for somebody else to fix themselves so that they can make us happy. That's not going to happen. You're giving your power over to someone else. So for the new year, if you're a resolution maker, 2 things I'd like for you to do. Write a year in review for yourself. All the things that you've accomplished, what you wish you could have done differently. And set personal goals for yourself in the future. What is it you want to achieve? How do you want to evolve? Who do you want to be at the end of next year? And if you're going to happen, if you're looking at this video and it's already next year and you're mid next year, you could do it now. You start your year when you want to. An avoidant attached ex finally professed his feelings, then ran away. Why and what should I do? I loved him. I loved him. Or do I love him? I'm not sure how to answer that one, because there's a past tense. Usually, after a big show of emotion, vulnerability, an avoidant attached person will retrieve, and they're going to ask themselves, what did I do? Why did I say that? Does this person think I'm weak? I'm feeling weak. I shouldn't have said anything. Maybe I said the wrong thing. I made a mistake. And now what they're going to do is wait for you to reach out and sort of validate them that they did not make a mistake. So you have 2 options. You can reach out and say, thank you for sharing. Thank you for opening up and sharing. I've listened and I process what you said and I truly appreciate it, and just let it be. See what happens next. Make a decision after that. Any good way to ask for some more consistent time together? Okay. From a fearful, leaning, dismissive, avoidant boyfriend. Yes, there is a way. I find action works better than words. The most recent podcast is on that, how you can go about setting your boundaries with actions instead of words. So you want to check that out. And to add to it, the way to ask for more consistent time together is to be unavailable, not always be readily available, so that they now want to spend time with you, and they're the ones who are initiating meetups. They're the ones who are asking you out. Because when a person asks you out, then chances are much higher that they're working, they're thinking and plotting of how to spend time with you, because you're just so busy. You're not always available to see them. You've got to be in a relationship where you're not. Someone shared this on social media. They said, if a hunter is going out to hunt for deer and opens the door, all excited, get the rifle and stuff like that. All excited, jump into the truck, goes out there hunting, gets the deer, comes back, and he's all excited about his kill. But then next year, he opens the door, and the deer is right there. Of course, he's going to be a little happy. Woo! I don't have to go out. I don't have to do all the work. The deer is right here. And so it kills the deer, brings the deer in. The next year, the deer is out there, and the hunter's like, this is taking all the fun out of it, but never mind. Fine, I'll take the deer in. By the year after, you know what the hunter's thinking? I'm just going to watch some TV because the deer is right out there. It takes the thrill out of the game. And yes, life is a game. Only those who play the game and play it well win. Life is a game. I didn't want to believe it either. So don't be so available. Not in a play game way. You're busy getting about your life. You're building yourself. You're working on your emotional healing. So you're going to meditation, or you're going to yoga. You're doing chakra healing, whatever it is. You're also working on your mental growth. So you're taking a class in something. You are building a career. So all of these things take time. And if you've slotted aside from 6 to 8 in the evening, and your partner reaches out at 5:30 and say, hey, would you like to grab dinner? You can say, oh, I would have loved to. I've just got this project from 6 to 8, and I'm really tired. Can we plan for another time? Now they're like, oh, wait a second. Now I've got to fight for their attention. Now I've got to really grab on to this person because they're not easily available. All right, so that is one way that you can go about getting consistency, because now they're showing up. Now they're making the effort. Okay, you don't have to talk about it. Just get busy with your life. Oh, and another question here. How to assert boundaries with an avoidant attached partner? The same thing. If you say, this is something that happened and I really don't appreciate it, I don't like it, I would appreciate it if it doesn't happen again, and it happens the second time, you just move out of the space. Let me use a quick example. If your partner gets upset and their voice goes up, and you say, I don't like when you're loud, or I don't appreciate this aggressiveness, I'm going to ask you to tone it down. And you get to say, you don't have to. I respect it if you choose not to. However, I will leave this room if it continues. You're saying how you feel. It's about talking about your feelings. I am not comfortable. I am not going to stay. I am going to remove myself. It's not about you. It's me. I am. And they continue to do it. You recognize right there that they did not respect the boundary. Your feelings, that's the boundary. My feelings. And you're not respecting it. and you get up and you leave. Now, the second time it happens, they are going to quickly recall that, oh, if my voice goes up, she's going to leave, or he's going to leave, whoever it is. Okay? Actions. Again, the most recent podcast, the link is in the bio, talks about how you set boundaries, and it gives a few examples through actions, not words. We can talk and talk and talk and talk. Look at some parents with their kids. Oh, don't do that. I don't like it. It hurts my feelings. And what does a child do? Keep doing it. If you sit sternly and say, I don't appreciate you doing this, it hurts my feelings, the child stops and wonders, what would be the repercussion if I continue? And they start to reason with themselves. It might not be a good idea to continue down this road, and they stop. Okay? And if they continue, what do? Stop drawing on the walls. I don't like cleaning it up. It makes me feel disrespected. And they continue to draw on the walls. What do? Keep going to them? No, they already know by the second time you're talking that, I could push. She's just talking. So what you do is you take away the crayons and say, we had a conversation about this. You don't have to go through again what the conversation was. They have good memories. We had a conversation about this. I'm going to hang on to these crayons for a little bit. You take away the thing, okay? You set your boundaries. You protect yourself. You protect your environment. How to be in a co-working environment with an avoidant attached ex-partner. Try to minimize contact. If you have to communicate with this person, do it via email. Make sure you remove yourself from any small talks, any talks about your relationship. Excuse yourself. Be polite, kind, but very firm in your stance. That's the only way to do it. Another way is if you can find another job, another department. But yeah. Anywho, we will not be having a live next week or the following week. We're still going to have a lot of content going up. I want to wish you a wonderful, wonderful holiday season, whatever it is you're celebrating. I hope that the light of this time brings us together. I want to thank you for the opportunity this year to serve you. Thank you for your support. You bring me so much joy by allowing me the space to do something. It just fills my soul. And we've got so many things in store for you next year. We're starting January 1st on everything attachment style. You're pretty much going to have the textbook, from my perspective, on attachment style here. More interviews, more podcasts, tons planned for you. And while I am doing it for you, it is really selfish because I love doing it. So forgive me for that. Happy New Year, and I'll see you guys soon.